Hi there, this is April Lee with Hope, Faith, and Thriving. Welcome. I'm going to be discussing endometriosis today. I'm going to be sharing an article talking about exactly what it is, the symptoms, and going over that to see if you think you might have it and to bring it up to your doctor. So here we go. Let's dive in. Okay, so it says endometriosis is often a painful disorder in which tissue similar to that which normally lines the inside of the uterus, the endometrium, grows outside of your uterus. Endometriosis most commonly involves your ovaries, fallopian tubes, and the tissues lining your pelvis. Rarely, endometrial like tissue may be found beyond the area where the pelvic organs are located. I personally had stage 3 and then stage 4 endometriosis. I had a laparoscopy where they went in to check to see how much endometriosis I had and where it would be. It was on my tubes, damaged my fallopian tubes. It was also um, growing cysts and all types of different things on one of my ovaries and crushing it, along with endometriosis on my bowel and other organs in my pelvis um, and on my intestines. So it definitely can go beyond that, just that area. So just wanted to let you know that. If you have not been diagnosed with endometriosis, usually the only way to do it is by a laparoscopy, which is basically a procedure where they usually go robotically, do a few incisions in your abdomen and pelvis, go through with a camera, look around and see if they can find the tissue, and then they will know, usually by looking and testing. If they see it during that time, they usually will go ahead and start removing the tissue, which is causing your symptoms and your pain. Okay, so it says with endometriosis, the endometrial-like tissue acts as endometrial tissue would. It thickens, breaks down, and bleeds with each menstrual cycle. But because this tissue has no way to exit the body, it becomes trapped. When endometriosis involves the ovary cyst called endometriomas, that's exactly what I had on my ovary, by the way, it may form. Surrounding tissue can become thick, irritated, eventually developing scar tissue and adhesions. That's where a lot of the pain comes from. Bands of fibrous tissue that can cause pelvic tissues and organs to thicken each other. Endometriosis can cause pain, severe pain, especially during your menstrual periods. Fertility problems may develop. Fortunately, effective treatments are available. All right, so I'm going to talk about my story just a little bit. All right, you're back with me, April Lee, Hope, Faith, and Thriving. I'm going to try to sum up my endometriosis story in a short amount of time. It started when I was probably about 12. So started my cycle at 11, started having painful times of the month. I have to be careful with the wording that I say on YouTube. So painful times of the month, only that. And it was pretty bad. I had to take either Midol or ibuprofen in the highest dose I could, spacing out in the shortest intervals that I was allowed to take it, along with heating pad and lying down with usually a weighted dumbbell, and it sounds very strange, on my pelvic area to kind of press into the area of pain. It wasn't heavy, but maybe like 5 to 8 pounds. It seemed to kind of ease it up a little bit. I would have to breathe through that. I would miss school the first couple of days. I just started getting used to it. And my grandmother had endometriosis. We did know that. My mom figured she probably did, but they're just used to all this pain. So to my mom, she thought, I'll just get you through it. It's normal. And so little did I know, this is not the average girl. You should not be suffering in extreme agony for 7 days every single month. It's just not the norm. And so I went through all my teens like that every single time. My cycle was like 7 days. It was never like 3 to 5, and it was heavy and it was painful. Extremely lower back pain, pelvic pain, headaches with it, just the whole thing, all the PMS, all the stuff. As I got older, it got worse. I would be waiting tables or in school, and I would have to call out, or I would be at work literally serving people food and drink, and on tons of medication. I would do like both Tylenol and ibuprofen together, sometimes Excedrin, whatever I could do that wouldn't overdose me in pain medicine. And then I would just wear those wearable little heat patches that you could put on. And so it would be extreme pain for usually the first 3 to 5 days, and then it would ease up, and then I would get through it. The pain was severe. Because I dealt with the pain so long, I was just so used to it. I thought it was normal. And I would run into people and they're like, oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. Like that never happens to me. And sometimes you'd meet someone and they're like, oh, mine is extremely painful too. And you would think like, okay, well, I guess this is just normal. It started to get pretty severe. And so when I was about 23, the doctor had said, I think you might have endometriosis. Let's check you out for that. And when he told me the process where he'd have to go in laparoscopically, I was very young. I wasn't married yet. I wasn't about to have a baby or anything like that. And I thought, I don't even like getting shots or getting my blood drawn. You're not touching me with surgery. And I was afraid. And so I just let it go. So I get married. I have my kids. It seems to get a little bit better. I don't know if it's from having the baby and then everything expands and kind of tears up the tissue. I am not a doctor. I don't know that. But I did read a little bit about it, and I think that might happen. Plus, their hormones are a little different, obviously, while you're pregnant, and then they change after the baby and all that. So it seemed a little bit better, and then they came back severe again. So I ended up with such severe pain that it was starting to cause me to limp and to have severe chronic back pain, pelvis pain, bladder pain, bowel pain, all kinds of like crazy stomach, abdominal symptoms, endobelly. Every doctor thought I was crazy. My stomach was like I'm 9 months pregnant, totally swollen and pushed out. I'm going to try to insert some photos in here for you to see. It was stuck like that for almost 9 months. I literally thought I was having a baby, and no one could find it on an ultrasound. It was that bad. And the pain was severe. I could not sleep during my cycle. I'd be up in the middle of the night, like crying and doing Lamaze. And this is with pain medicine, even like prescription medicine, dumbbell, heating pad, hot Epsom salt baths, everything. What really got me and pushed me over the edge was I ended up going in. I had a laparoscopic surgery done after getting my gallbladder out. So I had my gallbladder out. It was kind of an emergency. I said, when you go in there, can you see if I have endometriosis? Can you see that stuff? And he's like, well, yeah, if you do, I'll take pictures and show proof. So he showed that I had it come out of surgery for my gallbladder. He's like, yeah, you have endometriosis. It looks pretty bad. So I go to the doctor, to the gynecologist, and I present this to them, and they say, okay, we can go remove it. You'll feel so much better. So I'm like, great. So go in, and after, I get checked out and all, she's like, if there's some damaged things like fallopian tubes, this and that, would you sign a release that, or a document saying like that you would agree to do that? I'm like, sure, why not? So they do this procedure, remove everything. They say you should feel so much better. They're like, you have an endometrioma on your ovary. It's not salvageable. We got to take it, but we'll leave the other one so you can still have hormones running through your body. We weren't going to do a hysterectomy or anything like that. So they took care of all that. And she's like, I got it pretty good. Well, 6 months later, severe pain came back, and this doctor could not even believe it. She thought, you definitely don't have a problem. This is where it starts. I go with endobelly for almost an entire year. I can barely walk because little did I know I've got it's something called like I don't want to say it because I don't remember what it is, but there's this deep pockets in your pelvis. Well, little did I know I had endometriosis embedded deep in there, and it's pressing on my nerves. So I was like limping around, walking like literally I'm 107 type of speed. It was awful. And extreme pain. It was a nightmare. And so ended up going to a surgeon, and I'm like, just please give me hysterectomy. I can't deal with this anymore. He's like, I can't guarantee it won't come back, but with your history and the fact that if I do a hysterectomy and get everything out of there, I'll leave one ovary, you should be pretty good. Well, it's 4 years later. The second I woke up from surgery, all that pain that I had consistently was completely gone. I recovered from the hysterectomy, and ever since that recovery, I've never had another single symptom of endometriosis, period. None of that pain. It is all gone. It has not come back. I have no signs of it at all. That excruciating, painful torture is gone. Best thing I ever did. I have 2 kids. I'm very grateful that I was able to have children. The way that everything was going, I had just had my daughter right before the surgery, and even that doctor was like, it's a miracle that you had kids. So my kids to me are little miracles and a blessing out of that mess. So if you're looking to get a hysterectomy, it's a huge decision, but my quality of life, I'm trying to cross the street to get to my hair salon, and it took me like 10 minutes to get across like barely across like a half of a street. So that's how extreme it was, and I was super sick and in pain literally 3 weeks a month. So endometriosis can get severe, and it can literally change your quality of life. So if you're looking into getting hysterectomy or something that extreme, um, it's not crazy to think about it, but definitely give it a thought. Do a lot of research. I prayed about it. I researched about it. I asked a million questions. I watched YouTube videos, and I really made sure that I wanted to do it. So best surgery I ever did. So I'm going to end this video here, so these videos aren't too long. I'm going to link a few more things on this. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer everything I can. Again, I am not a doctor or a professional medical person. I am just a patient. I have many chronic things. Endometriosis, as far as I'm concerned, is healed and gone. So 4 years after hysterectomy, great decision for me. I have no side effects from the hysterectomy, and I'm just so much better. So, see ya. Oh, and one more thing, I'm really bad at this. Don't forget to click and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. It'll let you know when a new video is up and different things like that. I do a lot of YouTube shorts. I'm on Instagram as well under April Leigh, Leigh, chronically me. I put a lot of information on there.